Welcome everybody to part five, and I think our final part
Yeah.
of the Wars TCG. It's been a long night.
Yeah.
Some insider information as we did all these in one day. So
hmm
we opened the entire booster box. I'm just gonna quickly show what this looks like. This is the commons, but we have in front of us the good stuff.
hmm
So I'm gonna quickly just show off the foils we pulled. So you had rare foils that were one in every six. So this was sort of the appealing to the people that like shiny cards.
And with it is they foiled 18 rare cards from the set,
Yep.
so
So
you
you
can't
see them.
collect a full foil set. It's the quote the best of, I guess.
Yeah. So just gonna show these off quickly, and I think Steve and I just wanted to. So we got essentially the right, and then we got six in the box.
1/7 packs.
So reflecting on this before we kind of go through the rares, we put together a kind of a pile of the rares we think are interesting. This game seems like it's fun. It seems like they ironed a lot of the stuff out that were issues, in Premiere
hmm
or the first launch. Like they had thought about it. It was very thoughtful,
hmm
but it did feel kind of slow and clunky.
With the starter decks, yeah, I'll be curious to try it if we have time at some point with more constructed decks.
It also feels like Decipher is leaning really heavily on the Star Wars CCG mechanics, almost
Yeah.
to a point that feels like I don't know, like a crutch. And
hmm
they didn't want to think of like more creative ideas. They thought like let's just play the hits,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yep. At
so
least in the base set, there's nothing. Well, there's a couple cards here that I don't want you to talk about, but there's not a ton that is different than what one would have remembered from playing Star Wars CCG. We've been playing a lot of Star Wars CCG lately, so a lot
we
of these
have,
cards
which
are
you should,
very similar to other cards that exist in the game.
yeah, especially sort of like later card stuff. I'm like, oh, that's exactly like this card from Star Wars.
Yeah.
So this is our stack of rares. These are the ones I thought we could just
Yeah.
kind of talk about a little bit. Do you want to go through some of these, Steve?
Let me
And
pull a couple that I thought were interesting.
um, I kind of want to play more of this. This was fun. I think this would be a really great draft game. I also just want to reiterate how cheap this game
Yeah.
is. Right? I mean, you can probably get a complete set for like $25. You can get a booster box.
So this card, Energy Conduit, I thought was interesting. This is like moving a little bit towards Magic territory with this card. Until end of turn, there we go. As an additional cost, your opponent to draw a card in the draw phase, he or she pays 1 energy. So kind of a taxing type effect. Got a dex number of 6. I could plays for free. So you can definitely see a deck stacking multiple copies of this card and playing kind of a tax stacks type situation.
What was the four strain one? There's just a couple of these that like felt very Star Wars
Like this
CCG
guy.
esque. Like this, yes. As long as this character's at that side, each of their drains at related sites are +1. This is
Yeah.
so quintessential Star Wars CCG.
Yeah.
And I get like you like the mechanics, but some of it felt like a little copyright infringement.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's your own IP. But
Well, I think this was one of the things that I remember the discussion of this game when it was new. Is that some people Star Wars CG was still around. You could still buy the cards, and at that point you could buy Star Wars CG really cheap compared to
yeah.
now. So people are like, well, why do I want to buy this guy named Alnak, who I have no connection to, when I could buy another, like even a Cantina alien who has the Force strains, or Jabba's Palace alien that I read about in Tales from Jabba's Palace, something that I have a little connection to, and it's in a universe I like. So there's some questions of like why people are playing this game, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think they ever really like we were talking about before that we turned on the camera. Wars as a name, it's just
It was interesting. It was the second name. The
yeah.
original name of this game was previewed was the Mumon Rift Wars TCG, and Mumon Rift is this energy anomaly or something that brings the aliens into the solar system. That's a kind of a bad name, Mumon Rift.
I mean, frankly, I'm just like looking
Wars
at
is so generic.
I'm just looking at the box and like you could have just called this Incursion.
Yeah.
Incursion would have worked
Incursion
as a name.
TCG, a bit intriguing. What's the incursion? Yeah, I can
Right,
see
like
that.
that
The art's great.
that would have worked.
I gotta think the Google of 2004 is not sophisticated enough that when you type in Wars TCG, imagine that half the time you're getting the Star Wars TCG by Wizards of the Coast. Their
Or
main
if you type
competitor.
in Wars Decipher, you're going to get the Star Wars CCG, and
Yes,
you're going to
that's
get
out of
articles
print.
about how it's out of print.
Yes.
Or it just feels like
It's just really generic.
it's super generic. They could have chosen anything else, and they obviously put a lot of time into this. I feel they didn't put a lot of time into like thinking about the name, but that's
Here's a couple. Here's interesting. Look at this guy, Arnaknak.
just like putting together with like syllables.
He's cool, but look at this guy. So he has this inversion ability. He begins sort of a generic power 1 tactics, so its ability power 1 and tactics 2. But you can lose 3 energy, so lose 3 cards from your deck or from your hand or for your whatever pile to invert this unit. So he mutates,
Which is a cool mechanic, right?
mechanic.
Like
That's one of the few things that's kind of unique in this game. Now he's a tactics 4, but he's weak everywhere else. So he can draw Destiny by himself. At the end of the Battle Destiny step of each site battle here, make your Battle Destiny that battle plus another Destiny.
So I will note that that will not impact attrition, though, right?
No, I think. No, you're right. Because attrition's already. No. Battle Destiny step is the first step, so it still will.
Oh, okay.
So at the end of the Battle Destiny, yeah, so it's gonna.
So as long as he has a guard, right?
Yeah.
Then he's just a little Battle Destiny machine. This
So
is
at least in the base set, we didn't notice a ton of cards adding Battle Destinies.
This is kind of a
Wars.
classic Star Wars thing that was adding a Battle Destiny, and we didn't really see
Right,
any.
but kind of a cool base. Yeah, I think that's kind of a cool ability. I like that.
Yeah, I like the inversion when I was playing. What is this race? The
Quay.
The Quay. I kind of like the inversion. I'm curious to sort of see where they would have taken it, or what they would have done with it, or thought about it.
For a straight up reskin from Star Wars CCG, you have Amorian shipyards here. Each time one of your fighters is lost from a battle, if there are no cards stacked on this asset, you may stack that fighter on this asset. Though it's a little better because you only have to pay 2 energy to play it at full cost, rather than paying its deploy cost again to bring it to your hand. And but it only plays to an asteroid sector. Interesting. Kind of cool.
I like this sort of stuff. This is simple. You can interrupt your attrition is +1 in that battle for each warrior, right? Like this is
machine gun them.
It kind of feels like a Magic thing, right?
Yeah.
For every blank type, it's +1 power, +1 whatever. So this sort of stuff is nice. I do want to show this out. This is the much dreaded
Rare location. I thought that they might have done away with that, but then we pulled a couple of them, so they still it's kind of a feel bad to pull a rare location from a booster pack as a kid.
Yeah, it's like a rare red card, right?
Everything else is kind of feel bad.
But it's bad for 2 reasons, right? It's a really disappointing pull, and then also for the decks that need to run them, like in Star Wars CCG, you need to have a Dark Side Alderaan. You want to blow it up. What a pain in the butt it is to get that.
It's cool that all the locations are fixed or common, so they're basically free. They have no value, so you can just build whatever site path you want in Lord of the Rings. This game, yeah. This card. Well, let's talk about this. The Atlantis. We're marking. This is your big dumb space carrier, Star Destroyer type thing. Power 6, deploy 6. That looks familiar from Star Wars, like a Star Destroyer. Defense, which is both armor to hit it as well as its forfeit value really high. It's cool, but it has no immunity to attrition here.
Yeah,
and most capital ships in Star Wars would have that. So you better have some kind of a fighter or smaller ship backing it up, or a Destiny number 1 is going to blow this thing up pretty quick.
That's one thing I feel like they really weaponized attrition in a way where Star Wars CCG didn't punish you as much for attrition, right? Like you could kind of get away with, like a lot of characters are immune to attrition less than 3, or something like that. It's very common. Almost nothing is immune to attrition.
A lot of immunity to attrition.
So, but I mean, I think this is a cool looking card. It's just funny to read the lore, and it's like Horatio Hicks' battleship is as legendary as the continent for which it was named. It's like
Horatio Hicks is I think he's a rare, or maybe he's a fixed card from the.
It's just like this fun invented lore. I'd like to learn more about Horatio Hicks.
Yeah,
you want to talk about this?
I was just saying that this is there's certain art style that's pretty consistent. And then this guy shows up who's extremely photorealistic.
Just like
I'm wondering, does somebody win a
contest
to get a card? I don't know.
Chan Whitmer.
Yeah, but okay. I would have said he's one of the Kickstarter backers. I think we're a little earlier for that.
Let's do one more, and then
there's
we'll,
one
we'll
card.
do
Yeah,
our
I want to
wrap
talk
up.
about the like. Oh, maybe it's in the other pile. Can I see the other pile you got?
Sure. So as you look for that, I mean, I think that this game is fun, and
This card's cool. So, so you play this asset, which is basically an effect in Star Wars, beneath one of your opponent's locations. You may play this asset only beneath a location where your opponent has a ship or unit. And then now your drains are +3 there. So if you can get through the stuff that your opponent's got there and begin scoring drains, force drains, then they're +3. So it kind of creates this cool, I guess, focal point for battling that your opponent is not going to want to give up too easily. That's kind of cool. I think that's all the stuff I want to talk about. There's some other things that are fun, but that's some of the more unique cards.
yeah, I think that having opened this and played the starter deck, if we had a little more time and our wives weren't sleeping and waiting for us, then I think we would have probably improved our starting decks quite a bit. And this game's very draftable. I would like to play again and kind of build on stuff a little bit, but I think we are just going to stop there tonight. So there's one more expansion.
Incursion. Oh, Nowhere to Hide. Yeah.
Nowhere to Hide. So we did not get to that. Maybe that's for a future video. But I think this is going to be the conclusion of our little Wars mini series. I hope you guys had fun watching us wander and stumble through this game. So thanks, everybody, and I'll see you next time.